The high-profile case of convicted murderer William Darby now granted oral argument this fall by the state's Court of Criminal Appeals. And this big news from the bench signals judges have not made up their minds on the former Huntsville police officer's appeal yet.
WAAY 31 senior reporter Matt Kroschel joins us in the studio this evening. And Matt, you spoke with a Huntsville legal expert who says this request for more arguments could be seen as a win for Darby.
Marie, it allows attorneys more time to try to convince this appeals court that the trial court judge did not conduct the trial properly and failed to give jury instructions before they convicted Darby of the murder of Jeffrey Parker. Tonight, the Attorney General's office says no comment to our request for reaction to the update. Darby's team telling us they will be ready to argue their appeal on this conviction. Darby maintains he was following his training. The City of Huntsville's own police review board agreed and continues to support Darby. During the trial, the public was not inside the actual courtroom. Instead, another room watching on closed-circuit television as the trial was conducted. Darby's team contends that this violated his right to a public trial.
Court of Criminal Appeals can choose the venue in which they hear arguments. And to answer your question, Matt, for them to hear these two arguments, it may seem to bode well for Officer Darby. Now, again, when you talk about Sixth Amendment right to a public trial, we're in new territory when we're dealing with COVID restrictions and things like that. When you talk about the live feed being interrupted momentarily, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But again, if it's a constitutional right that Officer Darby is afforded, that's something that his lawyers should address.
Darby shot and killed Parker in 2018. That incident captured on body-worn cameras that day. That video played for the jury. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison and is currently serving that time inside protective custody at Limestone Correctional Facility. The arguments will happen November 10th at Samford University. Each side will be allowed a total of 30 minutes, which includes time to answer questions from the judges. These will be held in public view, with law students and others granted a front row seat to the process that usually occurs inside the state's courtrooms. I'm Matt Kroschel, WAAY 31 News.